There we go. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another, I guess, depressing-esque-ish kind of episode here of the Renegade Roundtable podcast. I am Jeffrey Kirby. Today what we're going to be doing is, why am I doing this like this is a reaction video? I don't know. I'm like, over here, this is exactly how I would do things if it's a reaction video. I think it's because I've kind of been in my feelings talking, reminiscent about our old guy, Tony. But,
yeah, rest in peace, Tony.
Rest in peace to Tony here on the channel.
He went on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, they're on the bigger and better things now. And, we got to wish them all, but the best. But, other than that, how you guys doing tonight? Obviously, I'm Jeff. That's Caleb.
What's up, y'all?
So, I got a funny story I want to start off with you guys. So, today, I'm at school. I got out of my own class a couple minutes early, so I'm just chilling. I'm sitting down, waiting for my next class to go. And for those that don't know, Caleb goes to Liberty. Now, obviously, it's not the biggest school in the world. It's not the most known school in the world. But it's still it's a great school. But here's what's funny. You don't really think of Liberty University in Ohio or really Pennsylvania or really anywhere in that range, or mostly anywhere for the most part outside of Malik Wills. If it was for Malik Wills, I mean, my God,
Willis.
I've always heard Wills. That every single person always keeps on saying Malik Wills.
Okay.
And
case in point, right there.
So there you go. So I'm sitting there watching, whatever. I'm chilling. Next thing you know, I see some dude has a Liberty hoodie on. And obviously now that's something that I would notice because I know Caleb goes to Liberty. And that was funny. It was hilarious. So I guess on some weird stuff, I was telling Caleb, I'm like, I snapped a picture of the dude that was walking. I didn't have his face. I didn't have his head or anything. It was just the body and his frame of the hoodie. And I told Caleb about this before we were getting on. Next thing you know, I find out it's his damn brother. Which
it was funny too because you told me that and I'm like, was it a taller kid, a red sweatshirt? Like before I even knew who it was, I'm like calling out what this dude was. I'm thinking that I got him that hoodie. Like,
yeah, it was funny as hell because, I mean, it was just. How do you expect? Like, how does that happen? I mean, and I've never met his brother before, so that was just like a weird thing. So that was just funny. I guess that was a little interesting quirk to start off the show because reality, and I'm not really here trying to talk about how depressing that game on Sunday was for the most part. Although, let's be honest, deep down, at least for me, I know we did all the hoorah and blah 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 last week. I think about 99% of us knew we were gonna get our shit kicked in.
Yeah, I mean, what else were we expecting? I mean.
And yes, obviously, for everyone that wants to go back to last week's show and, talk about all the stuff we were talking about, the whole Ben Roth, how the season was like in 2008 and how the season was in 2005 and, it's a 7th seed and number 7 for the 7th Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we get it. We were trying to convince ourselves that we had a shot against this team, and we didn't. Real quick, I gave this game a comparison. This game reminded me of Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. The reason why I make that comparison, so in the first quarter, no one scores. If you would have told me that at the end of the first quarter of that game, it would be 0-0, I would take that in a heartbeat. I think we all would. And then in the second quarter, you go up 7-0. TJ Watt, he has the batted pass that turns into the interception with Devin Bush. And then you get the strip sack that ended up TJ Watt taking it back for a touchdown. It's 7-0. We are absolutely irate. We're going in, not irate, but in a good way. We're going insane. We're on Twitter just typing it up like no tomorrow. Our drafts looked like you were able to do this. It looked like your ex-girlfriend's number when she cheated on you. But, I mean, that's a whole different story for a different day. And it just looked, after that, it was all downhill. Because at that moment, you're like, if they score here, it's a wrap. Because now they have momentum, and we all know if Kansas City gets momentum, they're damn near impossible to beat. Now, as Caleb is typing here in the chat, back to my comparison about what I was saying about Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. We all knew for the most part that, well, actually, no. Well, Conor McGregor had a shot. Where I don't know where Dion's been. He like kind of ghosted us.
He just one day left. Like he gave us like a 2-week notice and then he left.
Yeah, like everything was fine, and next thing you know, Dion just like, yeah, I'm out. I'm like,
he probably moved to Baltimore.
Probably no. He definitely traded away to go and get some Skyline chili. Not sponsored, by the way.
No, I think he went to Baltimore. I think Ray Lewis murdered him. Hot take.
Reckless speculation. But
no,
I mean,
we'll get Dion back on the show one of these days.
Yeah,
when we find him.
We'll have to figure out, what the hell happened, and we'll figure out a way to get Dion back on the show. But with the whole comparison I've been trying to make now for 10 minutes, and I somehow keep on finding a way to get out of it. Conor McGregor, I mean, we all knew eventually that Floyd Mayweather was going to win, and that's exactly what happened. We were Conor McGregor. He looked good the first few rounds, and then that's when Floyd Mayweather came in and basically whooped his ass. That's pretty much what happened here. We started off all right, even though the offense still looked pathetic, and we're going to get into that. We're going to have a long time to talk about this offense. But, yeah, outside of that, it looked pathetic after. We got our shit kicked in. The floor
I mean, what else were we supposed to expect though? I mean, the problem is the game gave us a little bit of hope there with that TJ touchdown. It was like, this might not be that bad. And then very, very quickly before halftime, it was like, okay, no, this is how we expected this to go. Like, this is over. And honestly, once we kind of settled into knowing it was over, I enjoyed watching the game. I just watched it as it was. I forgot it was a playoff game. I forgot we were playing in Kansas City. I just was watching a good football team with my favorite team out there. And
okay.
I mean,
so let's talk about this for a second. So you start off the game just in itself. Punt, Steelers 3-and-out. Then you make the Chiefs go 3-and-out. You're like, all right, bet. Then the Steelers go 3-and-out again. Then Kansas City gets one first down, but then they got to punt again. Then you have to punt again. So you start off the game with three straight 3-and-outs. And you're like, okay, this defense only can hold on for so long. Then you get the interception. Great. Then what do? Well, you still have to punt, but you get it in 5 plays. So you get a little bit of improvement. And then then you make them punt, then 6 plays that you punt again. Then you get the touchdown. Then you get the fumble touchdown. And then after that, then you allow them to go 8 plays, 76 yards. And you're like, okay, it's a wrap. And then obviously we all know what happened there. Then they go on to score 6 straight touchdowns. Their next 6 possessions after that, they scored 6 touchdowns. This offense would have to turn into the 2017 or 2014 or 2017 offense to keep up with this team. And you just were not going to do that. With Ben Roethlisberger and the way that the offense was playing, the way that they just refused to throw the ball downfield, it was just a matter of time. And the Shark saw blood, and they killed you. You are gone. And now you're gone for the year. And now you're gone in the playoffs. And now we just sit here and have to reminisce about Benjamin Todd Roethlisberger.
Hey, we still have some exciting playoff games to watch.
Why are you talking about?
Penguins are coming up.
Yeah, I mean the Penguins. They play tonight, which is going to be fun. They play at what, 8 o'clock?
They play at 7 o'clock against Ottawa.
I thought
This
they
is
played.
Matt.
Okay.
This is Matt Murray's
Okay,
return,
yep.
but he's probably not playing tonight, so there's
Yeah.
that. But this is the first time he's been at least in the building for another team since with all the COVID
Well,
stuff happening.
And the Senators are not. They're really not that good. So.
Yeah, well, it's hard to win a hockey game, and this is the type of game that we lose. So.
Well, I mean, that is going to be interesting to watch. But we'll get into hockey a little bit later. That'll be the segment where Caleb carries me, and I just sit here look like a little child that doesn't know what the hell's going on. I'm gonna look like that girlfriend that's doing the Bernie. I'm gonna be like the Bernie Sanders meme. Which, by the way, today's the anniversary of that. Where I'm just gonna sit here like this, not know what the hell's going on, and Caleb's going to carry. That's what will happen later on in the show.
Who's wearing the Penguins hat, though?
I'm wearing a black hat right now. Oh, sorry. Just because I'm wearing the hat.
One of us knew it was Penguin Appreciation Day.
You're damn right. And it was Jeffrey B. Kirby, the mother truck in second. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. All right. Real quick, so get to, was it B Smiles, Antonio Brown? I love Ben, but don't you all wish that Ben had more mobility? I saw so many times where he could have gave us 10 yards easy. I mean, it was just, that's where Father Time's going to kick in. And that goes just throughout his career with just how many hits he's taken. It was going to be, and he was never the real mobile guy. He just knew how to use his body to make plays. And that came down what it was. And with this offensive line and with how that defense was playing, there was really not much you could do. And that's going to come into some arguments about some of the quarterbacks that are in this class, one in particular who has very good arm talent, but just has zero mobility, and that's Carson Strong. But yet again, there will be a whole lot of draft talk that will be coming up over the next couple months. But yeah, just this game in general, it was one of those games where it was frustrating. You knew that there was nothing you could do about it. They were going to do whatever the hell they pleased. I mean, for God's sake, they ran out of fireworks.
Well, that's a whole other story, too. For the amount of times we've seen that over the years with their explosive offense, you'd think that they'd invest in at least like 4 more sets per game.
I mean, I guess, explosive offense, we should get more explosions at the stadium, but I mean, double the trouble. But I guess apparently not. After a certain limit, nope, you're good. But yeah, just it was frustrating. Again, real quick though, I do want to bring up one thing, and I'm gonna mention. Let me pull this up here on my other screen, and I'm gonna discuss this because there was a stat that I saw about Ahkello Witherspoon. This dude was good down the stretch. So, according to Pro Football Reference, Ahkello Witherspoon, who we traded a 5th-round pick for, this was how he was the last 6 games that included the postseason game against Kansas City. 9 completions allowed on 27 attempts, 27 targets. So a 33.3% completion percentage. It's pretty damn good for a corner. 98 yards allowed. 3.6 yards per target. So you're at that level, you're not even average. That's not even good for a running back. And so if you're able to hold someone to 3.6 yards per catch or yards per target for a corner, it's pretty damn impressive. Allowed 0 touchdowns, had 3 picks, and had a passer rating of 5.4. That, my friend, is pretty damn impressive. And that's something that this defense needed down the stretch. And that's exactly what you got.
Do you think we re-sign him, though?
I think you definitely are going to have to try to. Unless your name is bum Andrew Filipponi, who... Did you see his tweet today about what he said about who the Steelers should re-sign?
No, let me check it out. What did he say?
So here, while you're out, let me read it out here real quick. It says, if I could re-sign one Steeler free agent, it would be Trey Turner. He was very solid, but they'll give Kendrick Green a shot. Not smart. Juju, Chooks, Edmonds, and Witherspoon, I'd let them all walk. My friend, do you have the IQ of a rock? Do you have the IQ of my 4-month-old cousin that does not exist? Do you have the IQ of the steak, egg, and cheese bagel that I ate earlier this morning? I mean,
that doesn't even make sense. Like, who is he expecting to replace them with, though?
Okay, well, let's talk about this for a second here, because this was something I saw this and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I sometimes I wonder if he just posts stuff like this to try to get people riled up, because we know it will happen. But so you look at this, and here's something that I think could legitimately happen. I guess for a second I'm gonna get into trade talk or into draft talk for a second, because right now you have I think right now it's about 65-35 on Steeler fans thinking we're going to take a quarterback in this draft versus not. And both options are ideal. Both options are logical at pick 20. Because with the quarterback class, so I saw Mel Kiper Mel Kiper's mock draft a couple days ago, his mock draft or whatever. One of the first quarterbacks that come off the board here. In fact, here, let me pull this up here real quick. Let me pull up his mock draft, because the guy that everyone is looking at is Kenny Pickett, and I know for a fact he did not have him going until pick 18 at New Orleans. So here, because one thing too that I'm going to be looking out for when we're looking at quarterbacks is, what does Carolina do? Carolina needs a quarterback, but it seems like a lot of people are saying they could go offensive line, which is great for us, because there a lot of have them taking Charles Cross. Great. That helps us out, because now that's one pick closer and one team closer to picking a quarterback. And I've been on this now for a while now, and I'm seeing people start to pick up on this. What is Washington going to do at quarterback? The first quarterback that goes off the board is number 11 at Washington, at Malik Willis from Liberty. So right now, the first three quarterbacks between Wills, Pickett, and Corral, everyone can have them in different orders. This is similar to how the 2018 NFL draft was, when you had Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and Lamar Jackson. There was no cookie cutter, this dude is the guaranteed number one pick. This is not like how it was in 2020 or 2021, where you knew that Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence was going to go number one in terms of quarterback. You had no idea. You have no idea. And I think that's what makes this fun, but it's also stressful at the same time, figuring out who the hell you're going to take. And I mean, so you get Kenny Pickett at number 18 going to New Orleans. Sucks, because a lot of us are saying right now that's the guy that they want. And then you get number 20, Matt Corral. Okay. That's not bad. You know, I think that's a better situation than drafting Sam Howell, who my draft comparison is Baker Mayfield 2.0. Which, spoiler alert, I did do a draft profile video on him. Make sure you go check it out. Thanks. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. But yeah, Sam Howell's a guy that he's been linked to the Steelers now for a little bit. So he's a guy that, as much as we hate, or not hate, as much as a lot of people don't like him, he's going to be involved in the conversations because he's been linked there. And obviously Kenny Pickett's going to be an option because they also share the same facility as Pitt. So that's going to be kind of easy to get some insight on him and scout him and talk to him and blah, blah, blah. But now what if you don't want to go quarterback? What if you do something? What if you go and draft a guy what if you go and maybe get a bridge guy like a Marcus Mariota or if you get a guy like Jameis Winston, somewhere of that range. Because obviously in this mock draft, if you have Kenny Pickett going number 18, that means that there's a shot that Jameis Winston may be out there. And he's still young. He's only 28. Now, what if you go with a guy like Tyler Linderbaum? Get him at center. Because if he's still available.
The problem is I don't think Lindenbaum falls that far with all these mock drafts are pointing it out now, and I think it's a good point. Baltimore is in need of a center.
And Baltimore, I think right now Baltimore is the team to watch out for. If they don't go with him, if for some odd reason, because here's the thing too with Baltimore, and we got to remember this. They are notorious for trading out. So that's something to watch out for. And here goes Hunter. Patrick Mahomes Stan has entered the chat. Yeah, well, I hope you were standing watching us in the playoffs while you guys sat on the couch at home with Baker Mayfield, which, real quick, off topic, did you notice how I think they took them out of the rotation? I did not see one at home with Baker Mayfield commercial.
I was looking for those because I wanted to laugh, and there was not a single one during our game.
I find that hilarious. Hilarious.
Now, it could be because it's a Chiefs game. And Mahomes is with, State Farm?
Yeah, he's with State Farm.
And so that could be what it is, but...
No, because I think I think that all has that just has to do with the network, with NBC. I don't think that would really have much, because, I'm pretty sure I've seen Browns games where Patrick Mahomes and State Farm commercials have been around. So, I don't think that has much to do with anything, but yeah, going back to Linderbaum, yeah, that's definitely an option in a Mel Kiper's mock draft. He does have Baltimore taking Linderbaum, but it's always an option as well. If you're able to, if he falls that far and you're able to get a guy from Iowa, which we all know, Iowa produces offensive linemen. They are they're an offensive line factory, but in reality, they're actually a tight end university. They push out tight ends like no tomorrow. But that's an option to look out for as well. And if you look at this, me and Hunter were doing a franchise in Madden. Now, I understand this is Madden and franchise, but there's options that you could have. This goes woo, buddy. But you look at this. Dan Moore, left tackle, did a fine job as a rookie. So you want to give him every opportunity to do what he can. Then you get Kevin Dotson. He got hurt in that Detroit game, did not play the rest of the year. But he's been a guy now that's been there a couple years. Then and this is all hypothetical as well, if you get Linderbaum, so then you get him as center, you get a first round center who you feel like who can produce right away. Then you move Kendrick Green to right guard, where his natural position was guard anyway when he came out of Illinois. And then you get, figure out what you want to do. If you're going to bring back Chooks, then you do. And if not, well, then you're going to have to figure out what you want to do at right tackle. That would be a situation.
I hate to be that guy, but I'd almost rather them go offensive line or middle linebacker and roll with a bridge quarterback.
And that's a viable option.
Evaluate a Winston or a Mariota type out there, or honestly, give Haskins a shot.
And here's the thing too,
quarterback class, and I go to a school where all I hear about all the time is how great Malik Willis is and how we had this first round pick, and this is the weakest quarterback class we've seen in a while, at least the last 5 years.
And that is something that I think is something that you got to be careful of, is the fact that we're trying to convince ourselves that these guys are going to be better than what they are. That is the possibility. But obviously the two guys I'm going to mention, they're most likely going to go number 1 and number 2, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. So you get those two guys that are quarterbacks. But yet again, we also won't know what happens. What is Spencer Rattler going to do since he transferred to South Carolina? So you have So next year's quarterback class is going to be interesting. And then there's a couple other guys. I see a quarterback from Boston College, a guy from Fresno State. So those are it's going to be interesting to see how they want to handle this. And Will Levis, also from Kentucky, is a guy to watch out for, also former Penn State. So there's options out there of how you want to handle this. And there are a lot of holes on this team. Obviously, offensive line is something of that nature that you want to fix. Defensive tackle, we did see Tyson Alualu announce that he's going to come back, which I think is big. I think you guys should keep Matt Canada and just start Rudolph next year, Super Bowl bound. Yeah, I hope you guys extend Baker Mayfield 6 years for $40 million. How about that?
Nah. They need to do 7 years, $45 million. It's what Baker's worth. Maybe 7 years. 7 years and throw in like the strongest like no move clause you ever could, just to make sure he like is entitled or enticed to signing. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there you go. So we got your guys' quarterback situation handled as well. Bums. But, again, looking at this, there's options. Again, defensive tackle. What are they going to do with Stephon Tuitt? He has not been healthy. When's the last time you've seen him play a full season? It's been a while.
I mean, I know there's been like just speculation. No one knows anything, but like, who knows if he's even going to be back next year? What if he retires in the offseason, you know?
Well, but what I'm getting to say is, what if there's a chance that's what I'm getting to. There's a chance that even if it's not, if he doesn't retire, it's the fact of the cap. What if they decide to release him? Because Stephon Tuitt next year, he has a cap hit of almost $14 million. And he's, and he counts for 6.5% of the cap. And okay, so he's only 28 years old, but can you trust him to stay healthy? Because, again, we missed Stephon Tuitt a lot this year. We missed a mixture of him and Tyson Alualu. Now, don't get me wrong. Montravius Adams, he stepped up big in clutch moments. So he's a guy that if you could get him back for cheap as depth, and then you have Chris Wormley, who's had some nice games this year for us. If you could get him back, and then you have that interior rotation, and then you obviously have Cam Hayward, then you obviously still have TJ and Alex Highsmith, now things start to look a little bit better. Because what this defense was, the reason why our defense was so great the last few years was because we were able to help out the secondary by getting to the quarterback. Because out of all those guys, you mentioned TJ, Cam, now Alex Highsmith, Tyson Alualu, Stephon Tuitt. Out of those 5 guys, you can't double team anyone. And then if you decide to send any pressure, any outside, if you want to send a blitz, that's where it helps out with this team. Because especially when you have a younger secondary, where you had Cam Sutton, he had to play on the outside. That's not a familiar spot for him. You had Trey Norwood, he was a rookie. Then you get Joe Hayden. We all love Joe Hayden. But let's be honest. Unless you're going to bring him back on a minimal deal and move him to safety, which we all know isn't going to happen, I hate to say it, but it's time for him to go. And especially when you have Ahkello Witherspoon, where you could bring him back. He's a 6'1 corner, 6'2 corner. He's young. Why not, help him out or bring him back in the secondary? Then you got to bring the question of Minka Fitzpatrick. Are they going to re-sign him? What's going to happen with that? Do they bring back Terrell Edmonds? And I think you need to bring up the depth of linebacker, because Joe Schobert has a cap hit of $9.7 million. How are you going to able to restructure that to bring that number down? Or how are you going to handle that? So there are questions on this defense, but I think it's in the situation of things go out right, this defense is going to go back to normal. And it's going to go back to being dominant.
Yeah, I'm not real worried next year about the defense. Like, we have some pieces. We're gonna do what we do every year. We're gonna add 3 or 4 picks that are gonna boost. Like, to me, the defense isn't. I'm not worried at all about the defense going into next year. Like, I'll be confident in whoever we throw out there.
Yeah, I mean, with the defense, and then obviously now there's the chance that Keith Butler's going to retire. You know, there's rumblings about that. So now you have that to deal with, and I feel like with this team right now, the defense kept you in a lot of these games, and in the games that they weren't able to do that, like at first the Minnesota game, there was a lot of issues with that game, and the defense gave you no help. Those are some times where you need the offense to step up, and in reality, when did you really see the offense bail out the defense? When is the last time you've seen that? I don't think you saw that once this year. I mean, those are things that you need to, that we're all going to have to discuss. And Hunter, I see what you're going to say. Sierra is not letting Russell Wilson go to Cleveland. And you know what would be ironic? So he says, or Deshaun Watson. You know how ironic it would be if Browns fans got on Pittsburgh Steelers fans' ass for a decade plus about Ben Roethlisberger and his allegations if they were to get Deshaun Watson, and now they have to deal with all that? That would be some irony right there.
They already have Kareem Hunt we rip into him. Let's bring it on.
I mean, hell, they might as well they should bring back Malik McDowell. They should bring back the guy that was butt-ass naked outside of a What the hell was that all about?
I'm not surprised, though. It's Cleveland. What do you expect? I don't expect much from them.
Yeah, I mean, and then you know what's funny is how all the Browns fans before were talking about how they would make fun of Juju and his TikTok stuff, and now I see Browns fans begging for Juju to come to Cleveland. It's so funny. It's hilarious. Which, by the way, please bring him back again. I understand he may not, the stats personally may not have been there the last few years, but leadership-wise, he's huge. And
look at our entire offense though, compared to what he was going in with when he first.
Oh, and I get that too. And
his stats. Well, I mean, look at it. I was just watching some highlights the other day of some top Steeler plays, and there's plays when you have guys running routes. You have Martavius Bryant, Antonio Brown, and Juju all running routes at the same time, and that's where he's building his stats from. You got to look at everybody's stats came down. But the biggest thing I like about this dude's character and what made up for all of his past, like TikTok and dance and all that, was him showing up to play this playoff game. Because in no way, in no world does it do him any benefit to risk injury as a free agent in a game where his showing back up might not really make a difference. We're going to get blown out by a lot anyway. And
did you watch his post-game press conference?
I saw clips of it.
Okay. Well, that's what he talked about, too, is, he had people like his agent was saying, is it smart to play in this game? He said, I don't care. If I'm healthy, I am playing in this damn game. He loves the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whatever anyone wants to say about if anyone's trying to be naive or whatever, no. You can tell how much he loves Pittsburgh, how much he loves the fans, because my God, outside of the few idiots and people from the 1920s that are still around that are Steeler fans, or actually, 1930s because they were around created in 33, but outside of those fans who are old enough to be around when Abraham Lincoln got assassinated, we all love Juju. We all do. He's the nicest dude ever. I mean, he's just a genuine dude off the field. And on the field, you can guarantee your ass he may not put up the stats, but he's going to work his ass off. And and one of the biggest benefits that he brings too is the fact that he loves to block. He likes to do it. And as a wide receiver,
he made a name for himself on that crackback block on Vontaze Burfict, and then standing over him.
He talks about how he likes to block. And we all know how receivers can be when they just got to block, and he understands it. And that also helps out your offensive line. That helps out Najee Harris. That you need to keep a guy like that. And his value's not going to be high. You have the money. Why not bring him back? If the money is right, if the price is right, why not? I mean, and for anyone that doesn't want to bring him back, like Andrew Filipponi, I mean, if it wasn't for his show ending right as we start, I would try to get him on to have him explain himself why he would not want to bring Juju back.
Yeah, I don't understand that one at all, especially because with the injury and with the decreased numbers, his cost is just going down. Like it, and we have the most money we've ever had to spend. Like
yeah.
I
When's
don't
the last
see
time
why
we've had this much money to spend?
Never. This is the highest amount we've ever had. Plus, two, I don't see why you don't bring in this guy who has leadership to play when we are most likely, like 99.9% sure, we're rolling in with a quarterback not named Ben Roethlisberger next year. If you're bringing in somebody else, why or rolling with a new guy we have on the bench, why are we not bringing back Juju? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And I think one thing, too, with that is, I think with the fact that we saw Claypool, I know Claypool, and real quick on him, I hope and I pray to God that some of the, what this season has, what this season's brought will really help him, make him want to sit down and figure out he needs to mature up a little bit, and that he's going to go into this offseason, grind, work, and then he comes out in his third season and he balls out. That's what we could all hope for. Deontay Johnson, I get he had a couple crucial drops. I get that. It sucks. But at the end of the day, those fans that were just, they were being these people all day, they probably have Cheetos in between their keyboards. I mean, just chill the hell out. I mean, he doesn't talk. I mean, yes, once in a while he has a boneheaded play like he did against Baltimore where he almost got himself penalized. But at the end of the day, that doesn't happen often. And B, he's a guy that we saw what he could do. He had over 1,000 yards, had over 100 receptions. He's a dog. And I think that helps him out even more. Because the moment you forget about Juju, is the time that you'll pay for it. Because he's a guy that you can trust. He's the all reliable. He's the 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. I can trust him to get open and find a window to get the first down. Why not? Why not bring him back?
Speaking of bringing him back, though, why don't we go down this list here? Let's put your GM cap on and see. I'll read off a list of the name, and you let me know if you'd bring her back or not if you were the GM of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
So you said you'd bring back Juju, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And Hayden's out the door. We all know this.
Yes.
Okay. What about Eric Ebron?
No, because I think I think I would like to see what the tight end room would be with elevating Zach Gentry's role. I think that would I think I would prefer to roll with Freiermuth and Gentry.
Okay. What about Edmonds?
Yes. I feel like I've always been a believer that I like keeping safety duos together, and we've heard Terrell Edmonds talk about how the chemistry between him and Minka, where they know exactly what they're thinking and what they're going to do without saying anything. That's the kind of player you need in this defense. He's a hybrid guy as well. You could play him in the box. That's something that I did like about him coming out of Virginia Tech. So I think yes, for the right price, yes, you definitely bring him back.
Okay, Trey Turner, you already said yes on that one.
No. Filipponi did.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, why not? I don't think he'd be expensive. Why not?
No, he wouldn't be expensive. He already says he wants to go one more year with us. Why not?
Yeah, I'd be willing to do that with him.
What about Hassenauer?
Um. Yes, I would bring him back because there's also the possibility that he could end up possibly being the starter.
Yeah. What about Okorafor?
No, because I think this is the year that they're gonna have to put. They need to put Banner.
Yeah, it's kind of do or die time for Banner because I mean he's played in all of like one game for us now. That Giants game last year. Like I'd like to see a little bit more from him, or we need to move on from him too. Okay. All right, here's another bigger name for you, James Washington.
I don't think he's going to want to come back, but especially if Mason Rudolph is going to be the quarterback of 2022, which, again, a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's definitely an option. Yes. Yes. You need depth. And if we all know Mason Rudolph, if he's the quarterback, you need to bring him back because we all know they have chemistry together, and he's a guy that got very underutilized last year. And
I mean, look at his best season with us was the Mason Rudolph Duck Hodges year.
There you go.
See, I feel like you have to bring Washington back.
Especially going into the year at the beginning part of our time here on Renegade Roundtable, back during the offseason, going into the season, when there was the possibility of him requesting a trade. Everyone was saying, if you could have James Washington as your wide receiver 3, that is a damn good core. And he would end up being like our third or fourth. He would end up being our fourth. Hell yeah, I'm bringing him back. If he wants to come back.
Absolutely. That's the key, though, is if he wants to come back. Because I don't know if he would or not. Yeah, we'll see. Here's another receiver for you. What about Ray McLeod?
Yeah, bring him back for the special teams part. He was good on special teams.
Oh yeah. All right, Arthur Millette.
Woo. I think I'd be hit or miss with him. I'd be fine if he walked, and if he came back, that's great.
For the right deal, we'll see. Okay, Robert Spillane.
What is he making this year? Oh wait, no, he's a free agent. Duh. Or wait, is he? Is he a free agent? I think he is.
Yeah, he's a free agent at the end of this season.
Okay. So he is a free agent right now.
Yeah, at the end of this year, he's going to be a free agent.
Okay. What did he make last year? Here, I'm looking that up here. I'm trying to remember, what did he make? Spillane. He made $850. Yeah, if you can bring him back for $850,000, hell yeah, I'm bringing him back.
Yeah, if you can get that cost, I'd bring him back. And I mean, we need the middle linebacker depth.
I mean, yeah, he's only 26.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then the last one I'm gonna read off before we move on to something else. Taco Charlton.
Yes, I'm always going to say yes to pass rushers because I've always been a believer that you can never have too many pass rushers.
Yeah, the depth on that, and he played well in that depth role. I liked him. I'd like to see him bring him back. He wouldn't be expensive. I mean, to me that's a yes. I don't know why you wouldn't bring him back.
So yes, I think all in all, when it comes to those guys. So, and I think one thing too, and like I said, we gotta talk about this too, in terms of guys that you're gonna need to try to, you're gonna have to try to restructure or possibly let go. Obviously, Stephon Tuitt's a guy to watch out for. So real quick too, I don't know exactly how much of a cap hit Ben Roethlisberger is going to be. Exactly. I know SportTrack says it's 10.3, but I'll have to. There's someone I have to ask about that he'll know more of. Schobert, he has a cap hit in 2022 of it's actually $6 million. So that's something to watch out for. Ebron, so he has a that's avoidable year, so I think that knocks off almost $4 million. Other than that, I mean, yeah, those are the guys that I would watch out for in possible salary cap, not cap casualties because you have the money, but guys that you would, for the money that they're at, not want to bring back. But other than that, I mean, there are some good guys on this team, obviously. Now, what's funny is Mason Rudolph. And here's the thing, too. Depending on what the quarterback say the quarterback in September is in the room right now between Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph.
Or Dobbs.
You said what?
I was like, throw that one in there. I said, or Dobbs. I like to throw one in there.
Molly, I hope you're not watching, because there you go, because you just had yourself a nice little fun time there. So real quick, too, also, something to take into consideration, Melvin Ingram has he has $2.3 million in dead cap this year. So that's something to watch out for, or to remember as well. And then I don't even see and then Dwayne Haskins again. So those are all things that you got to watch out for. If you could get your quarterback for that cheap, if you could get him on, on a cheap deal, that helps you out even more. Because, all right, here's something we need to discuss. Because I do want to get into a couple minutes of the Penguins before we get out of here. So you should be proud of me. I'm wanting to talk Penguins. Or, more if you talk Penguins and I just ask what the hell's going on.
Hey, that works.
If Matt Canada. First off, we need to send his ass to Canada and leave him there. But I say this now, but then I keep on telling myself. I remember having this discussion within the first 5 episodes of the podcast. I remember us talking about this, and I remember saying, I didn't think that Ben Roethlisberger and Matt Canada's system was going to work just because of the fact that, we all know that Ben Roethlisberger, how he is. What would a quarterback that's going to follow the game plan, what is he going, how would this offense look then? But then we all know, again, the offensive line did not have much help there. But I do think some of the concepts of what they were doing was very annoying. There was a couple times you'll notice the spacing on routes was not good at all. And you're sitting yourself thinking, is this a 4-year-old that looks like he's just trying to draw lines everywhere? So, I mean, there's that. And so, at the end of the day, bye-bye. I every time I try to maybe convince myself we should bring him back, then I gotta smack myself in the face and say, hell no. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Hey, hey, hey. Take your ass on out of here. Sorry.
Are we gonna get a Kirby karaoke night on the show?
Hey, we can.
Hey, I'd pay $5 to come watch you.
100,000 subs, we'll do Kirby karaoke night on the channel. Which, real quick, also, by the way, I do want to say thank you everyone that's been subbing a lot. We've been getting a decent amount of subs here over the last couple days. I do appreciate that. We are currently at, I believe,
263.
Oh, we're 260. Oh, wow, we gained 4 subs since the last time I checked. So, thank you, everyone. Damn. So, yeah, we're getting pretty close to the 300 mark. We do appreciate that. I know the show's not over yet. We still have 10 minutes, at least. But I do want to say thank you, everyone who has ever supported us. Thank you, everyone who's ever watched a video, who's liked, who's commented, who's ever followed me or Caleb.
Very few of you who followed me.
We're gonna have to make that a goal. We're gonna have to make a goal to get you some more followers.
What am I even at right now? Hold on.
You are at 59.
I'm at 59. How do you know how many followers I'm at? I don't know.
Because I'm already on your Twitter.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I was already on Twitter on my phone, so it was just easy
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, hey, you were only at like 15 when we started this, so you've grown.
I don't even think I was at 10. I think Dion was probably my 10th follower.
Which I'm gonna have to. I might want to try to get him on the show. That would be fun.
We could get Dion back.
Hey, get Dion on the show. Figure out what the hell happened to Tony.
Yeah, it's been a mess. I liked back when we had 7 people. It was an actual round table. This 2 people thing is.
Yeah, it's not a round table.
But Devin was better.
That was a round table. Now it's just a poker game. Now it's just one-on-one poker.
It's the Renegade Duo. We got to rename it. It's the Renegade Duo.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Next thing you know, we're gonna make everything into a circle again, just like how we did.
We got to get the band back together, all 7 of them. Well, 6 of the 7.
Yeah, because one of them, yeah, I don't care about that one.
Yeah, one of them's not coming back.
Yeah, one of them.
I don't even remember who it was.
This is why I insert my Joey from Full House. Cut it out. Yeah, that person could cut it. Gone. All right, let's talk Penguins for a couple minutes.
All right.
So, in this little hot month that they're going on so far in the month of January.
What, 14 out of their last 16? I mean,
6-2 in the month of January.
6-2 in the month of January. Think about this. If you go on a road trip out west and you come back with, splitting the road trip or even getting a point in every game, even if you don't win it, like, that's good. We went out there and we were dead and out against Vegas, and we still came back and won. This team has some fight in them. This team has fight, and we're still down one of our best, if not our best, penalty killer and defensive forward in Zach Aston Reese. Like, this team is
Which, by the way, he just got announced that he's coming back.
Zach Aston Reese tonight?
I believe I saw something about that he was getting elevated. Let me.
About time. I will.
I'm pretty.
I know. I've been out of it a little bit today. That's for sure.
So here, let me pull it up here. It was okay. So the Penguins have activated forwards Zach Aston Reese in what is it? Dayton Heinen. Did I pronounce it? Danton Heinen. As well as goaltender Casey DeSmith from the NHL's COVID-19 protocol list, and forwards Jason Zucker and Zucker, right? Zucker. Damn it! I feel like it was Zucker. And goaltender Luis Domingue have been placed on the injured reserve. So that was 1 hour ago. That was 1 hour ago from the Penguins' Twitter.
Let me try to pull that up. I mean, okay, so, we're coming back home. We have an easy stretch here coming up of games. We just have to stay on pace. Carolina we're trying to get elevated so we're not in a wild card spot.
Right now,
because
right now we're in the number 1 wild card spot. We would be if the playoffs were tonight. We would be playing Boston.
No.
That's not how that works? We don't play the other wildcard team?
No, so...
Oh. That shows how much I know about hockey.
How it works... Okay, so how it works is the lowest wild card goes to the highest division winner.
Okay.
So right now, Boston would play Tampa, and we would play at the Rangers.
Okay.
And then the winner of the Rangers-Penguins series would play the winner of the Panthers-Capital series.
Okay.
So each division puts one team into the there is no reseeding. You stay and each division puts one team into the conference final.
Okay.
But we need to stay on pace with we need to pick up some of these games against some of these lesser teams and not play down to the competition. Still play strong. We're coming back home. This is Malkin's first home game back is tonight. We have to keep up steam because Carolina has a lot of games in hand. Right now, they're 3 points up. They're 3 points ahead of us, but they have 2 games in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we are with games in hand and with postponements and stuff. A lot of the postponements got pushed to what was supposed to be the All-Star break. Like, things are a little bit shaky because there's some teams have more games in hands than others. But like at this point, I'm pretty confident in our playoff spot. The top 8 teams have kind of separated themselves from everybody else, which is rare. But like by this point in the season, and I mean, who knows? There could be a COVID breakout. There could be injuries. You could fall off. But it seems like we have our clear 8 front runners to make the playoffs. Now it's just a matter of seeding, and let's see if we can't lock up home ice in the Metro. I mean, because we all know how dominant the Penguins have been at home in the last couple of years. Right. So it's all a matter of where we're gonna seed at this point. And I would like to not have to go through the Atlantic Division. I'd like to not be a wild card team. I'd like to somehow make it through the Metro because I feel like we have a better shot against the Rangers and the Capitals. And I like my chances in a best of 7 game series with Carolina. I'll take these Metro teams and these Metro opponents any day of the week. So
real quick, I don't know how. So just, I guess, maybe irrelevant knowledge that I'm going to bring in to make it look like I know what I'm talking about. So I was looking. So the Penguins this year are 10-5-2 at home, and they're 13-5-3 on the road. Now, one thing that I saw that was interesting is the Florida Panthers, they are 21-3 at home. Which
is odd because the Florida Panthers haven't been known for like this crazy home barn atmosphere.
But they're 5-5 on the road. So on the road they're not that good, and then at home they seem like they're unstoppable. And then on top of that, in terms of the Metro, the Rangers.
Okay, so just to clarify a little bit, explain how that number works too. With the Penguins, a lot of those home games came at the beginning of the year when they were missing a lot of people and they didn't start off as strong as they needed to be. They had a lot of home games up front, and we've been on the road a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
So that balances, like a PPG Paints Arena is still one of the best atmospheres in hockey come playoff time.
I want to say something real quick. So yes. I was looking at the time.
I like how you raised your hand.
So I was looking at a time where you were going to be home, and I also had spring break, and I was looking at games to possibly go to because I've never been to a Penguins game. But of course,
that Carolina Panthers game is going to be a good matchup.
I'm also positive.
Or Carolina Hurricanes. So I'm jacking up hockey right now.
Did you say the Carolina Panthers?
I did just say the Carolina. It's been a long day. I got the game right.
But I was going to say, it seemed like, for the most part, they're on the road. So that sucks because that would have been a fun thing to do. That would have been a cool vlog to make as well. But
yeah, for sure.
But obviously it doesn't. Which, by the way, too, me and Caleb are going to make a promise and guarantee that if baseball happens this season, you will guarantee at least one vlog of me and him at a Pirates game this year. Will happen.
One, and honestly, let's shoot for 2. At least 2.
We'll see what we can do.
Here's the thing, because we gotta go to a Pirates game. We gotta go to a Guardian game too.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, so I do want to say, obviously, for those, I've been a lifelong Guardians fan, so y'all can get on me, whatever. But real quick about that, I actually wore a Pittsburgh Pirates hat over at the time a Cleveland Indians hat today.
Go Buccos.
I chose a Pirates hat over. It was my Chief Wahoo hat. So there you go.
Hey, when your team's still having an identity crisis, and our team in 2025 is hopefully somewhat decent, you might want to hop on the bandwagon. We have better uniforms. We have a better stadium. We have a name. We have history with the name. I mean,
Army matey head ass. But yeah, I mean, I just thought that was funny. I told that to Caleb, and he was proud of me.
Yeah, I was. I saw you posted it today. I was like, oh, let's go.
But yeah, one thing too is I plan on the goal. Hopefully, is for me to. I went to the last Indians home game. I'd like to. Me and my friend Jay and Paul are gonna try to hit the first Guardians game. That would be cool. In fact, I actually still right here on my desk. I kept it. Was the cup that I have from that game. But then I also still have this cup from my first Pirates game.
Let's go Buccos.
So there we go. So I kept that.
It just looks cooler. I mean, look at it. It looks cooler.
PC. CP.
No, the P would be first.
Cedar Point. Not sponsored. America's Rock and Roll. Oh, by the way, well, I guess I'm apparently giving a tour of my desk. I got this, too. A little shot glass from the NFL draft that I went to. That I went to before I even knew Caleb existed. Which, that's a little fun. That was about 3 weeks or 2 weeks difference.
Let's see. The coolest, what do I have here then? Now that we're showing things off. I guess the coolest thing I would have here with me in Virginia is my signed Oliver Bjorkstrand. It's not really popping up much. Cleveland Monsters Calder Cup champion, game-winning goal, bobblehead.
Yeah, other than that, I don't really have any. I mean, this is kind of cool. I think I would assume at least. It's a TJ Watt jersey. I think that's cool, at least.
Me. It's all right.
And then I have this, and I'm pretty sure I showed last week, my tie that I got from my friend Yo Paulie, because I went to the damn tie. So that's just absolutely freaking wonderful. But
hey, that TJ Watt jersey might be cooler once he wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, by the way, guys, I've already recorded it. It's just going to be a matter of time of when I post it. I do have TJ Watt highlight video, or TJ Watt 2021 highlight video is coming out. Probably the moment they announce he's a DPOY, boom, now it's out. Out now. Go watch.
Not a moment sooner, not a moment later.
Not a moment later. Bow! Just like that. And now my hand hurts. But
that was a little bit unnecessary there, but
very unnecessary. But I do also think it's unnecessary at the fact that we're going over and the Penguins are getting ready to play. So I think we need to sign off unless you have anything else for us.
Yeah, we got a Pens game to watch. Let's go Pens. Let's go beat the Hurricanes. Or not the
Let's go beat
Senators.
the Senators.
I'm reading about the Hurricanes right now because I'm trying to scout actual teams. Let's go beat the Senators tonight. It's okay. It's been a couple years since we've played this team due to COVID, so I'm a little rusty with these teams. You know?
And then obviously tomorrow night we play the Blue Jackets, the Bum Jackets.
Yeah, who?
Did I do that right? The Bum Jackets.
Yeah, I don't think we really have a name we call it. We just call them Columbus.
I bet that works. So, other than that, thank you everyone for tuning in. It was a hell of a show. Appreciate it. I don't think Caleb's not going to be on with us next week. So
yes, I will not be on with you guys next week.
So be prepared for a lot of Dwayne Haskins versus Mason Rudolph comment. Be prepared for that. But
hey, don't worry. I might from work. I might drop in with a comment, and be like, "Hey, what about Dobbs?"
Oh God, here we go. But until then, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, if you do enjoy what you did see today, and plus all the reaction videos, smash the like button, hit the red subscribe button, drop a comment, turn on notification bell, go all that. You know what the hell to do. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your grandparents, tell your neighbors, tell the person that runs your local donut shop down the street, tell the local cross guard that's out in the front of your school. Go and tell everyone. Go knock on. Hey, subscribe to Renegade Roundtable. Hey, do that. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
We'll catch you later.